Hey everyone, I am making a chicken recipe tonight. I'm doing a skillet, like a lemon basil, pan fried, but also cooked in the oven recipe. And I'm going to go to the garden right now to pick some fresh basil because I'm going to use it on top of the chicken, like as a garnish and just for flavor. So let's go get some fresh basil. Yes, the weeds have grown, but you can see the basil is doing very, very nice. So I am going to get a couple sprigs, or leaves, I guess you could call it. I don't know the term, but I think you know what I'm saying. So I'm just going to take a couple off. This is all I need. It's about 4 or 5 leaves, but this will be perfect. Okay, so I've picked my basil. Like I said a few minutes ago, I have about 4 or 5 leaves. That's all you need. It's pretty strong, so don't, go overboard on it. But I've made this before. I love lemon chicken, and it has such a good flavor. There's a lot of good things going on in it. So if you want to know how I make it, then please keep watching. I'm going to start off by pouring some olive oil into my little ramekin, and then I am going to zest 1 whole lemon. And this took just a little while, so I did speed up the frames, but it's worth it because lemon zest is very nice and refreshing. Next, I'll be adding my herbs, so I start off with a little bit of dry oregano. I use also some dry basil leaves, and of course salt and pepper, and that's it. I did pick some fresh basil from the garden as you saw earlier, but that's for garnish later. You can use it while you're cooking it. That would be fantastic also, but I'm just going to use it at the end. This mixture smells so good. As you can see, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil because the herbs soaked up so much of that olive oil in the beginning. So I'm just going to add another tablespoon and a half. So to make sure the chicken has enough moisture while it's cooking, because chicken can dry out pretty fast, I'm going to add some chicken stock into a bowl here, and then I'm also going to squeeze the juice from 1 lemon. This is going to help give it that zestiness, but also make sure there's enough juice in there so it won't dry out. And once I'm done searing the chicken, I will add this to the cast iron pan. You'll see in just a few minutes. Now it's time to add the herb mixture onto the chicken. So I like to season the bottoms of the chicken first because I feel like if some of the stuff falls off, then it's not as bad if I had it flipped over on the top, if that makes sense. So I evenly coat it on the bottom, then I flip them over and do the same to the top. I used up all the mixture real fast, so I'm just going to go over with a quick layer of cracked pepper and fresh salt. I'm using about a tablespoon and a half of butter here. This is what I'm going to sear the chicken in, and also it does seem like a lot because I will also use it to cook in, and it'll give it some nice flavor. So once it's all melted, then I'm going to add my chicken. You want to make sure you add it to a nice hot pot so the chicken will get a good, nice, crispy outside. I'm going to let these sear for about 2 to 4 minutes on each side. Just keep an eye on it. Depending on how hot your pan is, you may need to go a little bit longer, but they were ready to flip, so I'm going to flip them. And this is the top you see now, and we are going to cook the bottom for about the same amount of time. I'm ready to take them off the heat. I'm going to put them in the oven in just a moment, but I'm going to slide them over to a cooler burner so I can pour in my juice. I ended up using about half of what I originally poured into my bowl. Now it's time to bake your chicken. So I'm going to use the same cast iron pot that I seared the chicken in. I put it in the oven It's at 400 degrees. I'm gonna bake it for about 25 minutes. You just wanna make sure the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees. I'm gonna slice up a few slices from my other lemon. This is just to help garnish and also give some flavor if you wanna squeeze some lemon on your chicken before you eat it once you take it out of the oven. The chicken turned out beautiful. It smells and looks delicious, and I did check my thermometer. I did try to videotape it. It did not get a very clear picture, but I promise you it is cooked. I'm pregnant and I am not going to eat undercooked meat. I'm going to pour off a little bit of the juice because some did evaporate, but also some of the chicken left a little bit more than what I needed. So you can save this and make a nice chicken stock out of it, a nice creamy sauce, whatever you would like. So now I'm going to garnish with my lemon slices and my fresh basil. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this one turns out great for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.